The matter was adjourned from last week till today for hearing of the main case and all the objections. And today, the court heard all the parties. You must have observed that the court gave all of us opportunity to expatiate the pith of our cases. And you will see that it emerged here that what has brought the candidate of Accord A to court at the instance of PDP had nothing to do with the primary that led to his emergence. It had to do with congresses held for election of delegates that came for the primary. And that was on the 5th of May. Meanwhile, this suit was filed on the 4th of October. And I believe that all the issues as canvassed by all the parties will give His Lordship some food for thought about what the justice of this case is all about, particularly in the light of recent development within this division of the Federal Court, where there appears to be discordant direction about the right of opposition parties to intercede and interlope in affairs of others. There was a judgment earlier that we thought was consistent with what Supreme Court has been holding for the past 20 years since return of that. Look, each party, is the master of how he conducts his own affairs, and opposition parties should not be pried into their affairs. But I think 2 days ago, another judgment came from understanding the same court, whereas APC was held not to have locus to challenge governorship candidate of PDP. The sister case by PDP against APC's own candidate, the same court, the same judge came to a different decision. So we believe that probably His Lordship in this case will have opportunity to take a stand about whether the law is still the same, or with the new judgment coming from different, the law has changed about other parties intermeddling in political affairs of the opposition parties.
Are you not worried that there are conflict judgments in this same court?
Well, it's not the same judge. Different courts, different cases, but with similar facts. So it may not be fair, for us to dwell too much on what appears to be the conflict. The only worrisome thing about that part is that the cases came before the same court, the same judge, the same set of parties, but with reversal of roles. In one, somebody was a plaintiff, complain about conduct of primary of another party. The court said he cannot do that. In the other one, the party who was said not to have the right to complain, now he had his own candidate challenged by the other party, and the court thought to decide it in a different way. But in that kind of situation, that's why the High Court are not the final courts. So the Supreme Court will tell you that they are final, not because they are infallible, but the High Court is only final if the decision is not appealable. Fortunately, in this case, any matter involving pre-election dispute is always appealable.
Lulu-Briggs, Dumo, candidate for Governor Accord A.
So, sir, your campaign office were sent a letter by the Rivers State government that the place is a residential area, and without you complying to it will be closed. What will you say in reaction to this?
Well, it's very unfortunate. First, we don't know in which world we function now. If it's in the world of abracadabra, or if we function in real world. The PDP have their offices all over Port Harcourt at different places. Next to churches, residential areas, commercial areas, and all of that. But the very worrying thing is that campaigns are not commercial. I think that the PDP should get these things right. Campaigns are not commercial. So you don't consider a campaign office, as being a commercial activity. What's the profit in it? Campaigns are not commercial. That's why they don't even allow campaigns, every day, right? INEC will set at a timetable when campaigns can start. That's a period when they expect Nigerians to take a little bit of inconvenience because, they're going to talk about their future, So I don't know where the PDP comes up with all kinds of things, but we're gradually, becoming a very lawless state. And this, of course, will be challenged. They've served us with the notice. We're waiting for them. We continue to urge this government to try and be law-abiding. Rivers State have not had any capital importation into the state of the $43 billion that have entered Nigeria. Reason number one, investors consider this place insecure. So for every responsible government of Rivers State, what you want to do, number one, is to write that impression so that you can have investments. When you continue to take actions yourself as government that have the potency, to overheat the polity, then you're feeling, your duty. But this is a very confused state of affairs in the PDP right now. We're actually, in sympathy with them. Very soon, all of you journalists will require permission from the Commissioner of Information to be able to conduct interviews. Very soon, because they are moving. What's it called? The order what? Order 21. 21. You can't campaign except, of course, you come to us. 22. You cannot even have a campaign office. 23. You can't even interview political party opponents. So be very careful. Order 23 is targeted at you people.
Thank you, sir.